So do you sometimes feel like just not wanting to wash your hair or do anything to it, but you realize you have to wash your hair because your scalp feels gross and you're starting to itch and it's been a little too long? I know I do, and when that happens, I have a very simple, effortless routine that I follow when I just really can't be bothered to spend a whole lot of time into my hair. If you're new here, hi, I'm Michelle. I'm a licensed hairstylist with over 20 years of experience. And on this channel, I use those 20 years of experience to help you have healthy, happy hair. So let's just get started. The first thing I start with is my weightless air dry cream. And ordinarily I do this when I'm still in the shower and I apply a good healthy amount. I might even put more than that. So I apply a decent amount and I do this in the shower while I'm still in the shower, not so I can rinse it back out, but so that once I put this in and I brush it through, I can pile it on top of my head and get it out of the way and then rinse off my back and my shoulders and make sure I don't have any of this product on there. And then that way I also don't have to deal with having this situation, a wet shirt, from dealing with my wet hair. And so I like to do this part in the shower so I can make a mess all over my bathtub and my bathroom and not all over me. I'm gonna put in just a little bit more, maybe a lot of it more. This I don't mind putting a lot in. I find that I can really not overdo this on my hair. I do have really long hair. It is quite thick and it's coarse, and this is very lightweight. However, I do feel like it gives me some really great hydration and never really weighs my hair down. And like I said, my hair is on the coarse side. It doesn't really get weighed down by products so much, but tends to weigh itself down, and this doesn't add to that problem. So once I get all of that in there, then I just go through with my brush and I just brush through to help to further evenly distribute it through my hair. And this is completely different than how I normally do my routine. Ordinarily, I put a leave-in in, then I do my curl cream and I go section by section. And then I do a brush styling technique using a brush that I have that is similar to a Denman, but not a Denman. And then I put either a gel or a mousse in there or both. But this routine actually skips a lot of that. So now that I've brushed it through, I just kind of shake it out, mostly to kind of loosen it up and not have it be stuck to my head. I'm kind of leaning to the side to help with the loosening it up. And then I'll even go upside down for a minute and just shake my head a little and flip it back up. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and put it in one of these, like a twisty turban type thing. I only put this in for about 20 minutes just to soak up a ton of water so that I don't have the drippy thing that I've got going on, and to help the drying process move along a little bit faster. So what I do is I put this part down here. I kind of gather up my hair. And I don't let it go all the way to the tip of this thing because then it's going to kind of get twisted around a little bit. But I just kind of stuff it in. Hopefully you can see. I can't see if you can see. So I've got all my hair in there and it doesn't quite go all the way to the end. Then when all of the hair is pretty much in there, then I just kind of twist it around once and attach it to the loop in the back. And you can see some of my hair is kind of poking out of the front here, so then I just continue to kind of tuck that up in there. And it's on there a bit wonky, but I don't worry about it too much. The only thing that matters is that it's up and off my neck and my shoulders, and my shirt isn't going to get any more wet, and it's helping to absorb that water so that it's not too drippy. And I will come back after I've had this in for probably about, I don't know, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, possibly 30 if I get distracted and I'm not paying attention to the time. And then I'll come back and I'll take it out. I'll show you what it's looking like. I'll show you the application of the gel, how I put it in. And then I'm gonna go ahead and let my hair air dry from that point on. I will be back when it's time to take this off. Okay, so it's been about 10-15 minutes and this has gotten pretty wet, so I am gonna go ahead and take this off and see what we have underneath. So this is my hair, how it's looking like when it's out of there, and it doesn't look like there's too much frizz that happened because of being put up there. And I've got curls starting to form. As far as curl clumps and definition, this is not the routine that gives me curl clumps and definition. Probably isn't going to give me a whole lot of volume either. Well, it's kind of a crapshoot. You never really know what you're going to get because it's air drying. Sometimes it'll fluff way up, but other times it weighs itself down. So we'll just have to see. But one of the gels that I normally would use for this would be my Biolage gel. It's the Gelée, and I've been using this for years. So another gel that I would use, probably even more so than my Biolage stuff, would be my Ouidad Vital Curl Gel. Or I would use my Ouidad Advanced Climate Control Gel. And the reason why I would use these gels is because they're really liquidy, and since I just took a lot of the water out of my hair and it's not really wet anymore, it's still pretty wet. It's not damp. It takes a long time for my hair to get to damp, but it's not as soaking wet as what it usually is when I go through the styling process. So I like to use the more liquidy gels just because they're going to distribute a little bit easier. So ordinarily those would be the gels that I would turn to, but I did just pick up the Curlsmith Hydro Style Flexi Jelly, and this one says it has a weightless hold of 7, and I like the idea of the weightless hold because I am air drying my hair, and my hair will weigh itself down even more when it's wet. So when I air dry, it may not pop up as much or curl up as much, and my curls might get more stretched out when I let it air dry. But with this, we'll see if it follows the weightless hold, if my curls are able to kind of bounce up where they need to be, or what it does. So I am also trying this out just to see how it works with air drying my hair. I can't say that I'll always use it to air dry. Air drying is not something I do frequently. I hate air drying because I hate having wet hair all day. So thankfully this gel is, as you can see, more on the liquidy side, which is great because it'll make application on my not quite so wet hair that much easier. And I'm just going to smooth it on, paying attention to the top where I'm going to have frizz developing up around here, and kind of scrunching it into the ends, but kind of not. What I'm actually doing is I'm keeping my hand mostly open and just kind of lifting upwards. So not really going in and giving a good hard scrunch, more just kind of lifting it up and encouraging those curls to form without manipulating it a whole lot, which could potentially cause some frizz. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more in. And so far, I'm really liking the consistency of this because I really like liquidy gels. So hopefully this will give me a little bit of hold and make my lazy hair day not look so lazy. Okay, it's not looking too bad wet. I don't see any frizz, so this is good. So I am gonna go ahead and air dry it for the next quite a few hours, and I will come back and show you the results. And while I'm letting it air dry, I will be moving my head kind of from side to side and flipping my hair over and leaving it like that to dry for a few minutes, and then flipping over gently to the other side. And I'm gonna do this so that as it's drying, it can get a little bit of volume and not be so stuck flat to my head. So I will be doing that very gently every now and then. We'll be back when this is dry and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm back with my air dried hair, and it's technically not 100% dry. It is still a little bit damp in the back towards my scalp, but I don't really care. It's starting to get really late. And also the whole point of this is just to show that you don't have to do a really long drawn out routine with a lot of different products, that it's completely okay to just go ahead and throw a couple of things in and be off and on your way. And this is the type of thing that'll work great if you have a more active lifestyle that requires you to wash your hair on a more frequent basis, or if you just have days where you just really don't want to put that much effort into it. It's absolutely okay to do that. I like doing my other routine with the layering of the products and with everything that I do, because I find that I get more longevity out of it. You know, I do it the once and then I don't usually have to refresh on day 2 or 3. And then I either wash it on day 4 or I just throw it up in a scrunchie or another kind of updo and I'm good to go. So my hair definitely doesn't look perfect all the time, and I don't even try to make it look perfect all the time. I just don't care to make it look perfect all the time. And there really is no such thing as perfect anyway. It's more about what you want your hair to look like, but you also need your hair to fit your lifestyle as well and not feel like you always have to put everything on it and a whole bunch of effort into it in order for it to be considered acceptable or for it to look good or whatever the case may be. So this is what that is all about, is just something simple, something easy, so that you can go on and live your life and not spend so much time worrying about your hair. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use my regular Verb Ghost Oil because there is a little bit of a crunch. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of frizz, which is really nice. And this gel definitely did have a crunch or a cast. And this gel really seems like it has some decent hold, and I really am looking forward to trying it with other stylers and stuff from Curlsmith, like maybe their creams, and just playing around with it and using it for diffusing. Since it does develop a nice crunch, it should be able to survive the diffusing process with minimal frizz, no problem. So this is my hair scrunched and fluffed up a little bit. And like I said, my hair is still a little bit damp in the back near the roots, but the rest of it is pretty much dry. So as you can see, my curls are a little bit more stretched out and not quite as bouncy and not quite as spirally. And that's partially because of styling it damp and not really doing any sort of defining or anything that really encourages it to pop back up. And then also I didn't diffuse it, so the weight of the water does help to continue to pull my hair down as it's drying, and it doesn't dry up as much and spring up as much as what it does when I use a diffuser. And I do hover diffuse. I don't ever really put it in the diffuser cup and bring it to my head. I mostly just hover all the way around. But yeah, so this is actually not looking too bad considering how I styled it. I literally did nothing like I normally do, and I don't have any issues with how my hair looks right now. It doesn't look like it normally does. It doesn't look like how I like it to look when I spend more time, but considering the small amount of time that I spent doing it, I think this looks perfectly fine. It's just, there's no volume. It's a little bit stuck to my head, but it's okay. It didn't take me that long at all. It took me just a few minutes to put each of the stylers in, and then all of the time air drying. So not bad at all, I'd say, considering that it was a pretty simple and pretty easy routine. And this is what I do when I want to give my hair a break or give myself a break, or if I'm, you know, just not feeling the holding process and don't want to go through it all. This is what I do. And this is nothing that I would expect to get a whole lot of longevity out. That isn't the whole point of it. It's just the point of, let's just do it really quick and easy and have it look pretty decent for a quick, easy, out the door, let's get on with our life type of thing. And as I was saying before, this is perfect for somebody who has a more active lifestyle and who needs to wash their hair more often, or maybe somebody with small children and it just isn't realistic to spend that amount of time doing your hair. Or maybe even if you're on vacation, and depending on what it is you're going to be doing and where you're going, if you're going to be spending all your time at a beach or in a pool and your hair is going to be wet most of the time anyway, you're probably not going to want to take all that time and use up all that products just to constantly keep washing it out or having it come out in the pool or the ocean or whatever. So this is just quick, easy, get on with your life kind of hair that still looks pretty darn good. So hopefully you found this video helpful. So if you'd like this video, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more content like this, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell while you're at it. And if there's any questions that you have, any comments, or anything that you'd like to see, please go ahead and leave me a comment down below in my comment section. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye.